The first location that I went to was 3225 St. John's Avenue, Jacksonville. These are called the Collar Apartments. This apartment complex is located in a pretty quiet corner filled with lots of plants and bushes around the entrance and all the way around the building. A lot of horizontal lines are used in the main entrance to decorate and add that Klutho style. Then to the right here are these big bushes and I'm guessing what used to be a big tree, but now that winter's here, the leaves aren't there. And then we have the staircase leading up to the main entrance. And the next location that I went to was 2755 Riverside Avenue. This is the Nicholas Lau residence. This house has a lot of Klutho in it, as you can tell by these columns and the arches on top of the windows with that sort of sculptures on top of the windows to add decorations, the swirled columns on the windows to add that sort of style that Klutho had. And then in the main entrance, we see again those columns and the arches on the windows and the horizontal line on the awning and the horizontal lines on top of the other windows. There were also a lot of bushes and a lot of trees surrounding the house and leading up to the entrance. Then the next location that I went to was 3643 Hedrick Street. This would have to be my favorite location out of all the ones that I went to. As you can tell, you see again those swirled columns at the entrance, those arches on top of the windows, the use of those horizontal lines to add that Klutho style, the columns on the windows, also the use of plants all around the main entrance, and you see that sort of big circle in the middle of the entrance, allowing you to take in all of that grass and all of those bushes without you actually having to stand on the grass and ruining the grass. You get to take a look at the whole house and just take it all in, and giving you that sense of that prairie school style that was popular back in Klutho's time. And in this picture you can sort of see a closer look in all of those little details that Klutho would add in all of his architecture, with the little lines surrounding the arch of the windows and the swirls on those little columns, as well as on these columns in the entrance, that just truly adds a sense of style, and it just makes it look so much prettier than just having a straight column. This house was also located in a pretty quiet corner surrounded by a lot of grass and a lot of bushes and pretty plants all around it. And then my next location was 1530 Riverside Avenue. These apartments are called the Napier Apartments. Not sure how old this apartment complex is, but I would say that this one was one of the ones that was a little bit worn out. I think that unfortunately they haven't been doing a very good job at keeping up with the apartment, but besides that, you can still see a lot of Klutho in here with the little decorations. You see the little box and the little sculpture in it to add that pretty style. And then in this next picture you can see that there was a lot of plants on the front yard and a lot of big trees covering those apartments. And I would say that this location was one of the busiest locations out of all the ones that I went to. I had to sort of jaywalk to get my video and my pictures. And then I would say that my favorite part of this building was this next cylinder sort of looking column. I think without it, the building would just look sort of just horizontal and not very exciting. The way that you can sort of see into that living room area in that particular room at the bottom is really pretty, and it gives a little more than just, a basic horizontal building, and I'm glad that Klutho added that in there with the vertical lines, of course, and the horizontal lines under the windows to give it a little bit more prettiness to it. And then this next small clip is just me awkwardly getting a video, and this lady was staring at me. And my final location was 2801 Herschel Street, also known as West Riverside Elementary School. And I will be honest, this building was not very exciting. Maybe because it's a school and I'm just have that feeling about it. But I would say that the prettiest thing about this building is obviously the entrance. I think Klutho does an amazing job at all of his entrances. He just has this sense of wow factor that every time you sort of walk into one of his buildings, it's like, wow, this is a pretty entrance, you know? And he does that by adding those small little details, you know, on the railing, on top of those windows, and on top of that main entrance arch. You know, I think for me, what is so interesting and so pretty about his style is all of those little details on the entrance. You see here small sort of columns on this railing that also made it very pretty. And then in this one video, I wanted to add a little bit more on the use of trees, and you see those tall sort of pine trees and the bushes on the entrance, and obviously all that beautiful green grass surrounding the school really gives it that pretty prairie school style. And to finalize my video, I just wanted to say that it is beautiful to know who this person was that created all these pretty houses and all these pretty buildings that are all over Jacksonville, that I had no idea that, you know, who Henry Klutho was until I had to do this project and realized what one person can really do and how they can leave sort of their legacy behind. And I had a lot of fun creating this video. I know I was by myself, so I had to sort of take my own clips and videos of myself, but I still had a fun time creating this project, and yeah.